I must have left it up there. Sorry, guys.
Nick, there was a moment in yesterday's practice where you coached up Jalen Reagor pretty hard after a snap. I was curious, what was that about, and how do you think he responded to it?
Just the conversations on the field. I'll keep them on the field. I told the wide receivers yesterday. I said we were in our film session and we were making our corrections just like we do all the time. And I said, guys, this was taught to me a long time ago as a coach. The player and the coach that is the hardest to play or coach is the one that your head coach played or coached. So quarterbacks, I'm talking to you guys too because I've coached that position. Wide receivers, I'm talking to you. So it's the standard is high. The standard's high of what we want, and sometimes those conversations happen like that. But it's all out of just the one thing is to get the guys as good as we possibly can get them and get them better.
What's your philosophy when it comes to tough coaching like that? Because you seem to be a player's coach. The guys seem to like you, but you have to kind of flip a switch at times.
You know what my experience is that if you're helping a guy become better, that's all that these players really want is can this guy make me better? And when that is the case, I think you can coach them as hard as you want to. Now, my philosophy is that I want it to be harder out here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday than it is going to be on Sunday. So, and that's something I kind of learned from my old head coach, Larry Karras. Like, he would yell and scream at us all week, and then Saturday during the games, we didn't get yelled at unless we did something really messed up. So
Nick,
that's my philosophy as far as that goes.
Sorry. So as far as managing personalities, so you have 90 different guys. The old adage that some need a kick in the butt, some need a pat on the back. Do you kind of get a feel for what this player needs, what this player needs?
Most definitely. To say that you're going to coach everybody the exact same, it's just not. It's again where I'm glad I have my background in teaching, right, in education. Like it's just not done that way to get to somebody and to. The only thing that's important is that the coaching point goes through and that the player gets better from it. And so every player is handled differently, and that's why it always starts with a connection, and because you got to know the player that you're coaching to be able to reach him. So that's why I think that's so important.
So is that trial and error, or is it do you specifically ask the guy how do you want to be coached?
Yeah, if I ask the guy how he wants to be coached, he'd be like, really nice. No, I don't think yell and scream at me all the time. It's trial and error, and it's getting to know the player.
Nick, I was going to ask you, you on day one, you and Howie said you want to see Jalen take control of the reins of the offense. How has he done after week one toward progressing in that goal?
You know, it's interesting because week one and through week one is an install. So it's like we have 8 installs. So just so you guys know, we have 8 installs, and we're going through those day by day. And so, you know, it's not like we're getting a ton of repeats of install 1 because you got to get the reps in of what you're getting at. So we'll have more of a feel for that as we continue. I think he's doing a great job of understanding the offense and learning the offense. And getting the reps of the offense, but now as we get in, this is our 8th install because we combined 2. So that will come even more when we start to repeat plays even more as we come into this next week.
Do you ever talk to Jalen about all the noise outside? I'm not asking you to mention a name, about a possibility of another quarterback coming here, and just tell him to relax?
Yeah, we talk as a group of how do you get better every single day. And this is my conversation with Jalen. This will be my conversation with all the players. How do you get better every single day? And we talk about our core values, our connect, our compete, our accountability, our football IQ, our fundamentals. And then what are the distractions that don't allow you to get better every day? And the distractions are different for everybody. I mean, right? They're different for everybody. Some are, I won't even get into that, what I would say with the team. Everybody's distractions are different. Everybody's going through something different. It's just, the message is clear with everybody is what are we doing to get better every day, and what are we willing to eliminate from our life that is not allowing us to accomplish that goal.
With that said, though, for the past 7 practices you've installed with Jalen as the starting the first team quarterback, if that's not going to change, what's your hesitation potentially naming him the starter for week 1?
Yeah, there's just no rush there on having to do that, and we just want him to continue to impress and show like he has, and yeah, we're just not there yet.
This franchise is historically favored, at least in many recent years, has favored the pass over the run more than most. What has been the messaging from Jeffrey on down in terms of how you approach that? And if the season comes about and it shows that the run is something that you need to emphasize more than maybe previously you have, will you go in that direction?
My message, only messaging that I've ever gotten from Mr. Lurie is that do what you need to do to win games, and I will support anything you need to get that done. I'm here to support you.
We've seen your practices go an hour 15, an hour 20. What's your philosophy? I mean, we're used to seeing 3 hours or 2.5 hours out here. What's your philosophy on the length of practice, and how do you know you're getting the work in that you need?
Again, all that goes down to player health, and I'm not the expert in that. But I have, so myself and our strength staff and our training staff and our doctors, and Howie, we all get together and we talk about how do we keep these guys. We have so much ability on the field. How do we keep them available, right? Because if they're not available, that ability is worth nothing. So that's just part of the design of what we're doing as far as the length of practices. But when we're out here and we're working, the standard is set very clear of how we want practice to be. So we feel like we're out here just enough of what we want to be out here as far as to just keep the guys healthy. But when we're out here, we're going and we're really rolling and we're practicing hard, because again, practicing hard, which we talk about as a group all the time, is how you get better also every single day.
So Nick, between the shorter practices, you've had 2 veteran days off in 7 days, and obviously OTAs, you were limited in what you could do, no mini camp. What gives you confidence that this team's going to be ready, when the games are live?
Yeah, again, availability, first of all. Again, player health is the first thing. So the confidence is that just because they're not practicing for the amount of time, right, the 3 hours or whatever, 2.5 hours, with the walkthroughs, we're full speed mentally in walkthroughs, okay? Like, we're still walking through, but it's full speed to the snap. We're still meaning full speed, right? We're still connecting full speed when we're in there. So it's all these things. Like, it's just not practice is one piece of the puzzle, and it's a big piece. And there's all these other pieces and puzzles to get ourselves ready, and we're doing those, just like we would any other year.
So when you get that advice, Nick, from the medical, the training staffs, and the coaches get together, how do you guys sort of maximize the time you do have? So if they say you have 75, 90, whatever,
sure,
how do you guys maximize?
Yeah, it's just about being highly organized and everybody communicating. Like, how do we make sure that we go from period to period? You talk at length of what practice is going to look like. Hey, we're going period 1 to period 2, period 3. Here's where these guys are on the field. Here's where they're on the field. Here's when we go ones versus ones. Here's where that field they're going to be on. Here's where this field. So it's just organization, communication to make sure that when we are out here for hour and 15, our practices are hour 15, hour 30, hour 45, whether that can go north or south of that any day, just based off the day. But when you're out here, that you're highly organized and you're not taking any time in between periods.
You've emphasized availability and having the players ready for the season. This franchise had a lot of issues with injuries over the last 3 years. Is that in response to that issue?
I can't speak to what happened here in the past or anything in the past. I just know that, right, we have this is a great organization in the sense that, right, there's no resource the Mr. Lurie won't give for us to be successful, pardon me. And so, we have these heads of department for everything, because I'm an expert at football, right? That's my department, right? The football. And I got to lean on the people that we have here, the experts of the other thing. Bob Lang is the expert at media relations, right? I don't come in here, no, Ruben. I don't come in here unprepared. Bob prepares me. I don't prepare myself, right? And it's the same thing with this. It's the same thing with the strength staff. Like, I don't go in there and run the workouts in the room. So it's just leaning on the people that this great organization has provided for me.
Though that's when comes September, you're going to have too many players playing themselves back and trying to play themselves into shape.
No, because I believe that we're getting every day we talk about the conditioning of our team and what we need to do, and so that's always a topic of conversation. again, it's availability. But still, Jeff, your point is taken. Like, I got to make the decision of how to get the football team ready the best too. So it's not always like, hey, we're doing this. Hey, this is what we should do. Well, my job as the head football coach is to take all the information in. Right? Bob gives me information about here, but I gotta handle it. And Ted and Tom give me information there. I gotta handle what I think's best for the football team.
Nick, the Deshaun Watson rumors aren't going away, whether it's fair or not, and whether you guys are truly involved or not. On a big decision like that, which would be a major move, how much input do you have on a decision like that?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the hypotheticals of something that whatever with rumors. But all I can tell you is that every decision that we make here is a group effort, right? And Howie and his staff and myself, we're working together to get the best 53 out on the field every Sunday.
In terms of availability, connection, like sacrifice for the team, these things that you're preaching, how do you feel about the handful of players who are not vaccinated?
That's their personal choice, and we educated them with how with everything, and then it's up to them right there. And it's just right that can also be, it's a distraction to say we're going to just talk about that every single day. We've educated them, we've talked about it. It's everybody's personal choice. All we got to do is get better every single day out in the field and not worry about the other distractions.
Jacoby Stevens talked yesterday about. I think Jacoby Stevens talked yesterday about video, showing videos during team meetings. Never has been around a coach that's done that. Talked about a hot dog eating contest. What's your philosophy behind, teaching through the video?
At some point, my voice, they're gonna hear me, and I'm gonna talk a lot. But at some point, it can't just be my voice saying it, right? And so, I have these things that I've kind of these messages that I want to get across. So how do I get those messages across? I think it's the art of storytelling. I guess I'm a good storyteller. And then you can have this storytelling, but then visual is so big in our profession. Like, if I'm going to teach a quarterback how to read a play, what are we going to do? We're going to go to the video. If I'm going to teach a wide receiver how to run a route, what are we going to do? We're going to go to the video. And so I'll set the stage of a message a lot, and then we'll go to a video, right? Kobe Bryant, I love Kobe Bryant and everything he stood for as a player. I find myself having a lot of videos on him, but it's anybody, right? The video that Jacoby was talking about was Kobayashi, and I'll tell you about that. Our fifth core value is fundamentals. And Kobayashi, there's this video of Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut competing, and they go and why is Kobayashi so good at eating hot dogs? Well, the detail and the fundamentals that he puts into it, and you're laughing at, so he has to have the right temperature water to dunk the thing. He's got to break the hot dog perfectly in half. And so my point on that is yeah, we're all seeing this, we're all watching. It's what's the point of that? If you want to be the best in the world at what you do, right, on the football field, it comes down to the little things, and that right there was a fundamental talk. So it's all those, how does it go to my, kind of what I want to get across. And we learn from great players in the past and great teams in the past.
All right, thanks, Coach. You gotta go.
Thanks, guys.